that winner, I qualified to the main draw of the biggest tournament I've ever played so far. So in today's video, let's recap my week playing the GNP Seguros Acapulco 125K Challenger. Welcome back to Turning Pro at 30. What's up everyone, Karue here. Welcome back to the channel. Weird background here because I'm actually in the homeland. I'm in Brazil right now. I'm going to play 2 challengers here on red clay, so stay tuned for the content on that. But today let's talk about Acapulco, where I played my first main draw challenger match since restarting my career. The event was played at the same site as the Acapulco 500, so it was really dope. But let me tell you, it was not an easy place to play tennis. I think Acapulco might have the slowest hard courts I've ever played in my life. I'm not kidding. This event followed last week's tournament in Cuernavaca. So we went from about 1,700 meters to all the way down to sea level. You pair that with the crazy slow gritty courts and it just felt like we were playing a completely different sport from one week to another. Where in Cuernavaca, the points were short. It was all about serving, first ball, and just quick points. Instead, Acapulco was about who's willing to suffer for longest. Grind, run, make balls, and just wait for the right opportunity to try to create some sort of pain on the other side. Shots with more spin and shape actually caused more damage and were harder to deal with than anything too flat and too through the court. Winners were hard to come by, serves didn't really do much, so we're basically playing a lot of baseline games. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting to play very well there, but it turned out that I adjusted fairly well to the conditions and actually played some good tennis. So let's go over the match from this week. In the first round of qualifying, I played another former Bruin in the Changeover podcast star, Evan Zhu. Coming into the match, I was definitely a little bit tense. I had just lost first round on the week before, so I hadn't had much match play, I guess, in the last 2-3 weeks. And I also wasn't sure how I would adapt to the conditions. Again, can train well, but you never know during matches. But overall, it was a pretty straightforward match. First set, we traded a lot of breaks back and forth as the serves really didn't do anything, so it took us a while to figure out how to be effective when serving. But as the match went along, I felt like I figured that out and was able to dictate without forcing the issue. I started to remove the idea of like hitting winners, and my entire goal was just like, you're gonna run more than me. That's what's gonna happen. If I lose or not, I don't care, but you're gonna be the one running more than me. It was just difficult to put balls away, so you gotta burn some of the other guy's legs. I closed out the first set. In the second set, I had a lot of early opportunities to break, and I didn't, which can cause a little bit of tension, right? You think you can run away with the match, but you're not able to. Evan played great in some of those break points or when he was down in his service game. But I tried not to let it bother me, just keep holding serve. I knew the opportunity was going to come at some point. And then at 4-3, I was able to get the break and serve it out at 5-3 to finish the match 6-2, 6-3. Just a quick break here to thank today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. Dealing with the ups and downs of tennis or life can be hard to do without professional help. And whether you're dealing with a clinical health issue or just navigating the challenges of everyday life, therapy can provide the tools to transform the way you approach things. That's why I'm excited to introduce you to our sponsor, BetterHelp. Their mission to make therapy more affordable and accessible. Finding a therapist can be a real challenge, especially if you're restricted to local options, but that's where BetterHelp steps in. BetterHelp is an online platform that makes finding a therapist a breeze. Just answer a few questions and they can match you with a professional therapist in as little as a few days. Signing up is a piece of cake. There's a link in the description, betterhelp.com/mytennis, no HQ. Clicking that link not only supports the channel, but gives you a 10% discount in your first month. And because finding a therapist is a little bit like dating, if it doesn't feel right, no worries. You can switch therapists at no extra cost, no insurance stress, no network issues. As a pro athlete, having the flexibility to talk to someone even when I'm on the road is very important to me. So I appreciate BetterHelp for supporting the channel. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/mytennis. Again, no HQ, just mytennis. Take the first step towards a better you. The next day I played Christian Langma for a spot in the main draw. Coming into this match, I felt a little looser, a little less tense already. I think once you get that first round of the way, it makes it a lot easier to play free. So let's go over some of the key moments of this match. Earlier in the match, Christian was holding serve a lot easier than me. I had to save some break points. I was able to fight those break points off and stay on serve. But at 2-all, I was able to string along 4 great points, and I got the break. From that point on, we had some pretty straightforward service holds. I felt more comfortable on my serve. I was able to hold serve a little easier, and I just stayed the course, holding serve to a clean 6-4. After I won that first set, I definitely started feeling like I was a bit more in control of the action. I was getting into more points on his service games and long rallies and creating a little bit more pressure returning. And just like in the first set, at 2-all, I was able to put together a great game and break him again. So this is when things can get a little bit tricky mentally, right? You're now up a set and a break to qualify to the main draw and can start overthinking things a little bit. But I did a great job fighting that anxiety, just playing point by point, staying really locked in. Especially alert on my service games, not giving any free points, and just continue to work the points the way I've been working up until that point. Then a 5-3 game comes, Christian is serving, and I had 4 match points on that one. And I wasn't even really that tight. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting to break there. I just wanted to hold, really. But I was able to get to a position where I had match points. And Christian just served really well on those points. I think I only made 1 return out of those 3 or 4 match points. And I ended up losing that game. It's 5-4. I need to serve for it. Again, there's always tension serving for it, especially having match points the games before. But I just try to erase that, play point by point, swing by swing. I always kind of tell myself, like, one swing at a time, one swing at a time. Just so you gotta psych yourself out in a way. And I did a great job with that. I was able to hold at love and secure my spot in the main draw. And in the first round, I play Gonzalo Oliveira, a seasoned vet. And honestly, there's not a lot to report about this match aside from the fact that I didn't really play that well. This was the first time I played at 4 o'clock. The match started at 4 o'clock in Acapulco every day, so I played at night most of the days. And it was extremely windy. Every day there was windy, but by the time I played, it was already kind of dying down. And I wasn't able to handle the wind very well. Typically, I do a good job with wind, but inside that stadium, it was kind of swirly. It wasn't really just like one directional. And I was just honestly fighting to keep the ball on the court. So when you're playing at this level, if you don't feel like you're precise enough to create the patterns, the combos that you want to create, you're just surviving. And honestly, I wasn't even tight. I think in the past when I've played main draws of challengers, I feel like I maybe put too much pressure in the moment. I just wanted to play some good ball and have a good time, and I just couldn't. I was just fighting the entire day. To be honest, I think my legs were a little bit tired from the 2 qualifying matches. It's pretty physical playing there. And Gonzalo just executed a lot better. He returned better. His lefty serve was driving me crazy. And I was just feeling like I was playing uphill, never really in control. You can see when I actually put together 2-3 quality balls, I was able to then take control of the point, but I was just having such a hard time getting there that day. So for me, it's just kind of a throwaway match. I don't want to get to a point where I overthink every loss. I want to learn from each loss, but sometimes it's just a bad day, and you have to just kind of move on with your life. I'm just happy to have qualified, play that first round, and it's just a stepping stone into what I'm doing now, which is playing pro tennis. So just some quick final thoughts here. Overall, I think it was a really positive week. I was definitely a bit disappointed to not be able to make it a competitive match in the first round and just really having to fight the conditions and myself that day. But I did leave Acapulco feeling really good about my game. I found a good rhythm on my serve that I hadn't had in a long time, to be honest. And even though I've been playing well, getting some good wins and results, I definitely felt like, I don't know, for the last 2 months, I've played tense. Like I was never just kind of fluid and letting it flow during matches. There was always just like an extra bit of tension, maybe like wanting a result. But in Acapulco, I was able to play a lot freer and let that tension feeling go. And for me, especially once I get to that point, I play with a lot more joy. I'm not afraid of being creative and trying different shots. I'm a good shot maker, so I need to allow myself to try the angles, to try the high heavy ball, to play with the shapes and the times and all that stuff. And really just being present shot by shot, right? Not being so worried about the outcome of the match or even the outcome of that shot. Being on tour is difficult because you become very outcome driven the entire time. You just want the good results. You know, each week you don't get a good result, it's just another week that maybe you wasted. But really, I just need to be patient. I think, I need to remind myself that basically the only thing I like about being on tour is the matches, is playing the matches and training for matches. I'm not here to like travel, to see the world, to party or anything like that. I really don't care about that. I live a really good life in LA, and I love being there. So all the traveling on tour and all that stuff, it's not something I truly enjoy, but I really enjoy playing. So, if I don't enjoy everything else, at least I'm going to have fun playing the matches. That's my goal, not just for the next 2 weeks, for the rest of the season. I want to obviously win, but I also want to have fun on court and really be present for the experience. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Again, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Give this video a thumbs up, it really helps us. Wish me luck here in Brazil. I'm in the homeland. I hope I can play some good tennis. And I'll see you guys in the next one.